What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of My Team Career Mode. Today we are here at the Belgium Grand Prix at the Spa-Francorchamps. So it will be a dry race, so we need not worry about any wet weather setups. So in the first Q1 lap, as you can see here, it was quite a drift city because the tires are still not at the optimum range of grip and the track is still evolving. So we have to be mindful of that. And we finished in P2 in the first Q1 session. So it was a decent recovery drive. And in the Q2 session again, in our first push lap, you can see we are just personal best, scoring personal bests over, but it was not completely the fastest among all the cars. So we go into P4, and I thought that was sufficient, and yes, it is. So we finish in P4, but our teammate George Russell, he gets eliminated in the Q2 session. So an unfortunate day for the George Russell Mr. Saturday. So in the Q3 session, you can see here there is very less time left, and we also have a bit of shortage of fuel and ERS, but we cross the line and go P1. And I was sure that this will definitely drop down as we finish in P3 in the Q3 session. So that is where we will start in the starting grid, and we will go for some alternate strategy of hard to soft tires and hopefully pray for some safety cars so that we can gain the positions, as it is 5 red lights. And away we go for the start of the Belgium Grand Prix here at the Spa-Francorchamps, and starting in P2 because I think someone has a grid penalty, and we was just swarmed by two couple of cars, and we have to just make a clinical move because again, if we lose too many positions, you can see there is a lot of wheel spin. The tires are still cold and the grip level is not there still yet. So we are in P3 position, exactly where we finished in the Q3 session. So definitely we can gain some more positions ahead of us because Perez and Norris is in front of us. So we can definitely overtake a couple of them guys, and we can gain the P1 position effectively if we can utilize our tires well, because we are in the hard tires whereas the guys in front of us are in the medium tires, and they are definitely quite faster and they have much more superior grip. So we have to be careful of that. As you can see here, we just hit that curve and it almost made us lose the car. And again, we also had a tire dip in the grass and we lost at least a second there, and Perez is now 1.7 seconds ahead of us. So definitely we have lost time because of that mistake. And in the second lap also, you can see Perez is just 1.6 seconds ahead of us. So we have to just try to gain the DRS of Perez, because the lap 3 it is here, and the ERS and the DRS will get enabled, but you can see the car is sliding. So definitely the balance is still not yet optimum, but despite of that, we go into the fastest lap, and in the lap 4 you can see we are almost close to getting the DRS of Gio Perez. But again, the wheel spin, oh my god, this game, the rear tire just lights up like in 4th and 5th gear, and it is very crazy thing. Hopefully in the F123 we will get some better traction system. And again, in the lap 11 you can see we were just gaining so much, and we decided that it is not the time to pit because our teammate will also be going into pits, and I do not want to obstruct his path. So it is lap 12 and still we're in the hard tires, and definitely we can go a bit longer, maybe up to lap 14 or 15, and that is when I can decide whether I have to pit to the soft tires or wait for a safety car. So in the lap 13 you can see here we are P1 position, and Lando Norris is 14.9 seconds behind of us. So definitely he has got some undercut on us, but he is on the slower tires of the hard tires, so we have to watch out for that as we go into the pits at the start of the lap 14. And definitely Lando Norris will be jumping us in the pits, and now it is just a strategy of maintaining the medium tires freshness, because we have to do I think 8 laps and we make a hash of the pit exit line, because I was just completely focused on getting the HUD out of the way that I just did not see the pit exit line. So we get a warning from the FIA, but it's okay. And here you can see in the lap 15 itself we scored the fastest lap, and Lando Norris is just now at least 6 tenths in front of us, so we can definitely catch him. The tires are still a bit cold, I would say, and we definitely have an advantage in the tire department. And now Lando Norris is 1.1 seconds ahead of us, and we will not be getting the DRS in this track or in this lap. So definitely in the next lap you can see here Lando Norris is 5 tenths ahead of us, so definitely we'll be getting the DRS. Now it is the opportunity for us to overtake Lando Norris and get into the P1 position. So you can see here the DRS strikes and we open the rear flap, and now we are just using the slipstream of whatever effect we can get and going around the outside at this Lecombe chicane. We just make a move around the outside of Lando Norris, but there was a bit of wheel to wheel contact and there was no damage done to either of us. But yeah, our tires are still not at the optimum range of grip, so that is why we faced some understeer at the Lecombe chicane, and which led to a bit of collision, but no harm done as we get into the P1 position. And now it's just time to make some moves and go as fast as we can. So now it is all about making the good use of the medium tires which we have. And in the lap 18 you can see Lando Norris is still in the DRS, but you get a safety car, so Joe Gonyu is out of this session. So the Alfa Romeo have been having a torrid season because their consecutive consequently suffering from some engine failures, and which is just unfortunate for them. But as the safety car peels into the pits, Lando Norris is 6 tenths behind of us, and it is only 2 laps remaining of racing. And you can see the tires; they are just stone cold, like 78 degrees. So that is not very optimal. And in the turn one, you can see we had absolutely no grip, and we had to just brake a bit early, but still we did not able to stop the car, and we had to go a bit wide on the turn one itself. And now you can see here Lando Norris is 2 tenths behind us, so definitely he has some superior straight line speed, and obviously his tires are still at the optimum operating temperature, and that is why he's just gaining so much. And it is now about using and punching our DRS, or rather the ERS, so that we can just stay ahead of Lando Norris. As you can see, again we are facing some bit of understeer, so the tires are still not gripping onto the asphalt as we would like. And now Lando Norris is 1.6 tenths behind us, and at the end of the lap 21, you can see Lando Norris is 4 tenths behind. So in the straights we are too quick, but again at the corners, that is I think where the McLaren is superior to us, as Lando Norris is now 2 tenths behind, and in the turn one we just cover off the inside so that the McLaren guy does not go for a dive bomb, and we managed to hold on to our P1 position. And the McLaren guys are just behind us, as Lando Norris is 2 tenths and Lance Stroll is 1.1 seconds behind of us. So obviously there is no DRS, so we have to just utilize the ERS levels of our car to make and consolidate our P1 positions, and we are going up the Rouge here at the Spa-Francorchamps, and Lando Norris is 2 tenths behind us, so let's see whether he can overtake us in the Camel Straight or not. And we just place our car beautifully within the track limits, and we are now just utilizing the maximum space which is available to us. And now Lando Norris is 7 tenths behind us, and you can see here going at the P1 section, you can see the amount of understeer we are facing, but still we are able to manage the control of our car because our tires are still not at the optimum temperature, I think, or the rather the optimum grip level, and we almost binned it at the penultimate section because we are just looking too far back. And here at the Spa-Francorchamps Belgium Grand Prix, we cross the line and go P1. So it is the third consecutive race, I think, where we finish in P1 position. So a remarkable recovery drive as Charles Leclerc gets the driver of the day. It is the time to go into the opposite of the position, as our teammate George Russell is P9, so definitely he has scored some points in this race. So GG's to him, as we are P3 in the Drivers' Championship and our teammate P4. So we are just gaining step by step in the drivers, and that is next target is Max Verstappen, and in the constructors also McLaren is leading, then Red Bull, and then us. So definitely we have 97 or 94 points to gain to the Red Bull, and in the upcoming races, which will be at the Dutch Grand Prix, which is the home race of our Max Verstappen. So let's see what we can achieve at the Dutch Grand Prix, as we choose Carlos Sainz as our rival. So definitely we can see what this rivalry brings to us. And now it's time for the Dutch Grand Prix. So we'll meet you again at the next episode. Till then, peace.